We make a marker here. Bam. Alright, we can throw this up on YouTube as well. Let's do Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 1 stuff, which I haven't done in a very long time. Ace Attorney, justice for all, trials and tribulations. Alright, let's do Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Let us begin with episode 1, The First Turnabout. This is our tutorial. Damn it, why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Also, things are going a little too fast here. I'm not pressing any buttons. That was very fast. Hard to read, even. Text skip off. There we go. I don't want no text skipping. Save data. There we did. Alright. By the way, chat, tell me if the music is too loud or anything. Because it's kind of hard to tell. Boy, am I nervous. Right! Oh, hiya, Chief. Oh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yeah. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. So I want to help him out. I want to help him out any way I can. I really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Larry Butts. Dude, I'm so guilty. Just tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. I'm finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Or, if you were going by the Japanese, then his name is, Ryuichi Naruhodo. Yes, his name is quite literally Naruhodo, chat. So here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Ha ha ha. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has pretty terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous.
Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge for your client's sake. I hope you can control your nerves.
Me gusta. Thank you very much, Pinecone-kun, for the 11-month resub. Almost a year. Welcome back, dude. Thanks for the continued support. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness.
Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking. Palms are sweaty. There's vomit on my sweater already. Eyesight fading.
This test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. If you don't, I will murder you where you stand. Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor.
Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what is the victim's name?
Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blanket. Dude, I know that feeling, chat. You know that feeling when you study for a test and you're like, I've got this. I've studied everything. I've done. You look at the problem, it's like, yeah, I've done this. All I have to do is... What was the formula for the... No! And then you have an existential crisis and you break down and just cry. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Unfortunately, let's see, we've got the attorney badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this around. And Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death, 7:31, between 4 and 5 p.m. The cause of death was a loss of blood due to blunt force trauma. We can go to the profiles. Mia Fey, age 27, chief attorney at Fey & Co. My boss and a very good defense attorney. Larry Butts, age 23, defending in this case. A likable guy who's been my friend since grade school. Cindy Stone, age 22, the victim in this case. A model. She lived in an apartment alone. And Winston Page, age 52, is the prosecutor for this case. He lacks presence and is generally bad at getting his points across.
Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case?
Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone.
Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was...
She was hit with a cinder block. She was struck once by a blunt object.
Correct. You've answered all of my questions. I see no reason why we should not proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure.
Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor.
As Mr. Wright has just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts this into evidence.
Chat, that's not how courts work. You have to submit evidence before the trial begins. Statue. A statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Okay. Boop. It's rather heavy. Nothing else has been updated, though.
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness.
Dude, this series is great. I haven't played it in forever, ever. But, you know, that's a good reason to play it now because I probably forgot most, if not all of it. The prosecution calls the defendant Mr. Butts to the stand. Am I playing this on PC? Sure I am. That's why it's all HD-ified. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. Do I have any issues launching? No, it's been fine so far. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. If you take a shot every time that's not how the court works, you'll die of alcohol poisoning after the second trial. Capcom's just milking money at this point. To be fair, there's a lot of people that haven't played the game even over the years and would like it on PC. But I agree they could come out with some more Ace Attorney games. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together! We were Romeo and Juliet! Cleopatra and Mark Anthony! Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you, anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it lies! I don't believe a word of it! Hardcore NTR chat, Minglo. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder.
Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder.
Remember, July 30th, she arrives back home. July 31st, between 4 and 5 p.m., she dies. Dude, no way. Oh my god, what am I doing not voicing that guy like Shaggy? Look at that guy. Larry Butts is getting the Shaggy voice from now on, chat. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her own lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I? Oh, man, chat. What should I do? Alright, stop him from answering. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Ugh. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die, man. I'm just gonna drop dead. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Oh no, hold on. Can I back up and see what he said as he shouted that? I wonder, let me check. By the way, let's save. Oop. I can't really change my stuff in game, it seems. Well, we'll check after this. This is a short trial anyway. It'll be fine.
Let's continue with the trial now, shall we?
I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite.
Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. No, Tab gives you this. Tab is your items and stuff. It's the court record. And as far as I can tell, there's no log in the court record. Uh-oh. He went. What do I do? Well, stopping him for answering wouldn't really work here, I don't think. Because this is pertinent to the case, so I kind of have to have him answer honestly. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah. Yeah, I was there. I went, man.
Order! Well, Mr. Butts.
Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying?
The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying.
Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness?
The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
Order! Order in my court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Mr. Frank saw it. He saw it, chat. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes.
Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
By the way, chat, the localization of this game is great because the Japanese basically has all the same name puns that the English localization has. Witness testimony. The witness's account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. And then, I saw her lying there. A woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? Can't defend you against a testimony like that.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawlett used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime.
Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
You may begin your cross-examination.
Cross-examination, Your Honor.
Aw, the music bumping.
All right, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face.
Rub it right in his freaking face.
Literally slap him upside the head. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out contradictions in the testimony. Okay. Easy peasy. It was... There, bam. The evidence clearly reveals the contradiction of that statement, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, I put on the wrong thing, though.
How exactly are that evidence and the statement just now related?
They aren't, are they?
Not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge. So if you mess up, then you just lose a little bit of these pips of health in the top right. Alright, so really, if you look at the autopsy report, that is the evidence that contradicts the statement. So he says the time was 1 p.m. at the death, but the autopsy report says between 4 and 5 p.m. Therefore, present this evidence. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure about this? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. Oh, boop, 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 boop. God, the music is so good in this series. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again?
Chat in a courtroom. If you fuck your testimony up once, you don't really get another chance. Not like this, at least.
All right, the time of discovery.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
I wonder. I see. You heard a voice saying the time of a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. When I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time was probably coming from the television. Hey, guess what? Hey, look. Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Yeah,
The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit?
No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now.
Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. It wasn't there. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly. There was a table clock, wasn't there? The murder weapon. The murder weapon, you say. You mean this murder weapon? Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? Oh, yeah, chat, we did it. The music is now fire. One. Actually, one isn't proper. This is ditto music. One is a little too slow. You with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock! Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne?
As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now?
There is indeed a problem, yes. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction.
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard.
Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Saw It. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. True. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face.
Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? Did you fucking murder that bitch?
That day, I never... Look, the clock, no, Shut up! I hate you! He just throws his toupee. It was him, I tell you! I saw him! He killed her! And he should burn! Burn! Give him death!
Order! Order in my court, I say!
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright!
Your Honor?
You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Saw It heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker after all.
So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is right now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Saw It heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Saw It, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which means I cannot allow you to indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens! You treat me like a criminal! A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry, I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. I mean Chief. Listen up, Wright? Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow on the day of the murder. Nobody could prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking outside of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow, and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Chat, can you think of it? I can think of it. Yes. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Hey chat, what's a piece of evidence we haven't presented to the court? Out of all of the evidence, what have we not presented to the court that is pertinent to this? The attorney's badge! With the attorney's badge, we can prove his innocence. Find it and let them have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course. There's a piece of evidence in this courtroom that can prove my claim beyond a shadow of a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one out.
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
Chat, it's time. Behold. The evidence! Take that!
Excuse me, this proves your claim how? I can't see what that evidence has to do with the clock.
No, that wasn't it. One more chance, just give me one more chance.
Alright, Mr. Wright, but time is not on your side. Be quick about it. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was...
Well, hey chat, she was in Paris, right? The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow. It was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. And that's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It?
Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly, and find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts,
not guilty. Yay! Confetti! Dude, can you imagine if in a real courtroom, someone was found not guilty and confetti rained from the sky? That would make everyone so much happier, wouldn't it? Except for the janitors.
And with that, this court is adjourned.
Turns out that Frank saw it was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. On that day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Struck the victim in the temple. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Whew, I still can't believe we won. Right! Good job in there. Congratulations! Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. Thank you very much, Waganawa Megumin, for the follow. Welcome to the stream, Megumin. How are you? Chat, can we get some Megumin happies? If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no, I mean bad. Bad, bad, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Harry Butts. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey! Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her, man. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Ah, yes, a murder weapon. The best gift.
Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick, and she was just playing me for a fool. Does that make you just want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him. Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? The bag! The Paris trip that she didn't take. The blackout? The time of death? I guess we'll just think about it. Take that! I love that. Take that! Check it out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. I hope that made him feel a little better. Right. I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things can change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, don't believe in the client. Believe in the you that believes in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, and grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts.
Ah, yeah!
Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks. Damn, she's thirsty for that right man. Ah, get it, chat? Get it? And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. My promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. That's our tutorial mission, chat. How was it? Good times, right?